and pure. There's no motive. He's chanting from his heart. And it just lifts you up. So that's another thing Prabhupada gave us, kirtan. We are a kirtan movement. And Prabhupada gave us such nice temple worship. Look how nice the deities look, Radha and Krishna. Prabhupada specifically instructed us that the deities must be dressed very, very opulently. Why? To attract us. Otherwise, we'll watch movies on Netflix. But when the deities are dressed gorgeously, it attracts us. So we have prasadam, which is, I think, the ultimate weapon. We have kirtan. We have the deities, and Krishnadas, Kaviraj. He, for many, many years, he worked as, what did you say you worked as? And when people would, do we have another microphone for him? Can we supply? Just bear with us. Everybody chant japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So he's been staying with me all weekend, tolerating me. And in his many years of his working, people would find out that he was Hare Krishna. And so they would ask him, what would they ask you, Prabhu? And that's you guys. Because you're devotees of Krishna, you're the best people to associate with. My wife has told me so many times, I didn't marry you for your looks. I married you and I stay married to you because you make Krishna consciousness fun. Yes. Prabhupada also gave us his books. His books, Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Krishna book, all the books, they are meant to nourish our heart and soul. I read Prabhupada's books every day. I want to nourish my creeper of devotion. So Prabhupada has given us so many nice things to attract us to Krishna. So we are super grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Now let's see our next, yes. This next excerpt, Akrura. Akrura was in the Krishna Leela 5,000 years ago. And there's one incident where finally Krishna and Balaram came to Akrura's house. So let me read from Krishna book. So when Krishna arrived at his house, Akrura bathed the feet of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, and then poured the bath water on his head. Akrura presented Krishna and Balaram with gifts of fine clothing, aromatic sandalwood paste, flower garlands, and excellent jewelry. After thus worshipping the two lords, Akrura bowed his head to the floor. Akrura then began to massage Lord Krishna's feet. Who would like to do that someday? Massage, yes. That opportunity is there. You can have that opportunity. Just stay with the program. Don't jump off the ship. Stay on the ship, this ISKCON boat. He massaged Krishna's feet, placing them on his lap, and with his head bowed in humility, Akrura addressed Krishna and Balaram as follows. And since I knew that Dravida would be here, I had to include the Sanskrit, because as we all know, our Sanskrit Acharya is Dravida Das. So I offer this to you. Please correct me in my pronunciation. Kapanditastvad aparang sharanang samiyad bhakta priyad ritagira surida kritagyat sarvan dadati surido bhajato bikaman atmanam pachayaw na yasya. So again, this word kritagyat, who are grateful to the devotees. Akrura prayed, "My dear Lord, you are very affectionate to your devotees. You are also a truthful and grateful friend. Where is that learned man who would give you up and surrender to someone else? You fulfill all the desires of your devotees, so much so that sometimes you even give yourself to your devotees. And still, you neither increase nor decrease by such activity." So it's very similar to what Lord Chaitanya said. Where is that learned person who would give up beautiful Krishna to someone else? My dear Lord, today my home has become purified by your presence. I have become the most fortunate person in the whole world. For the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipable by all different kinds of demigods, pitris, living entities, kings and emperors, and who is the super soul of everything, has come into my home. The water of his lotus feet purifies the three worlds, and now you have come to my place. Who is there in the three worlds among factually learned men who will not take shelter of your lotus feet and surrender unto you? Who, knowing well that no one can be as affectionate as you are to your devotees, is so foolish that one will decline to become your devotee? Throughout the Vedic literature is declared that you are the dearmost friend of every living entity. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Please repeat. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, completely capable of fulfilling the desires of your devotees. You are the real friend of everyone. In spite of giving yourself to your devotees, you are never depleted of your original potency, for your potency neither decreases nor increases in volume. So this concept that Krishna is in the heart is something that attracts me very, very much. I don't want to brag, but I will. At the age of 5, I can remember I was sitting on the front steps of my house. And at the age of 5, I remember distinctly, God is in my heart. I wasn't taught that. It was something I just knew. So many times I think, yes, in my previous lives, I have been associated with this philosophy. And I'm continuing where I left off. This concept of God in my heart, and He's also in your heart. So I can't discriminate. You're this, you know. Krishna is in your heart. I have to love you. And Krishna is in your heart. We just became Facebook friends. Nowadays, when I get so many Facebook requests, so I send a message. I have so many Facebook friends, so please tell me what I can do for you. But when I saw you, I didn't send that message. I said, oh, I know her. She's a good devotee. So Krishna is in everyone's heart. And the more that I can understand that and believe that, I become more and more happy. I want to be happy in my life. I'm in my golden years. I'm done with fighting and arguing, especially with my wife. No more. Just do what she says. Don't argue. I'll still get what I want. Just like yesterday, even without asking, I got curd steaks. Yes. We need more guests to come visit us. So, this concept that God is in everyone's heart just gives me a different outlook. Even when I go shopping, because she sends me out shopping, yes. I just don't spend the whole day chanting. She puts me to work. But even if I have to go out and I see the cashier I also have to think, Krishna is in their heart. And be loving and caring. And if the opportunity comes, give them something about Krishna. So Akrura, just see, Akrura was sent by Kamsa to take Krishna and Balaram out of Vrindavan and bring them to Mathura. And Kamsa's plan was to kill Krishna and Balaram. But as it turned out, Kamsa was killed. So when Kamsa first arrived in Mathura, he said, "Oh, Krishna, you must come to my house." But Krishna says, "No, not now. Later." So this incident that Akrura is discussing took place later, after the killing of Kamsa. It took some time. So this was a very special day for Akrura. He's appreciating, he's grateful that this wonderful person, Krishna, has come to his house. So we have come to see Krishna in his house. We should be grateful. Thank you, Krishna, for allowing us to come into your home. Now, the next excerpt is from the Gopi Gita. The Gopi Gita is the most elevated chapter of all the 335 chapters of Bhagavatam. Am I right? 335? I'm pretty sure. But check. You're the checker referee. Of all the 18,000 slokas, that one chapter, 19 verses. Vishajalapyayad Vyala Rakshasad Vashamarutad Vaijutanalat Vrishamayatmajad Vishvato Vayad Rishabhate Vayang Rakshita Muhu. So that Gopi Gita, a different Gopi speaks each verse. And that whole Gopi Gita, Krishna has disappeared from the rasa dance. And the gopis have searched and searched, but Krishna is gone from their sight. So they congregate on the bank of the Yamuna, the dead of night, the full moon, and they pour out their hearts, crying out to Krishna to please reappear. So here's one of the verses, right from the start. We are always grateful to you because you have protected us many times from the poisonous water of the Yamuna, from the serpent Kaliya, from Baka Asura, from the anger of Indra and his torrents of rain, from the forest fire, and so many other incidents. You are the greatest and most powerful of all. It is wonderful for you to protect us from so many dangers, but we are surprised that you are neglecting us at this moment. So yes, if you study the 10th canto or the Krishna book, right from the start, right after Krishna was transferred from Mathura to Vrindavan, right from the start, Krishna protected the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So many dangers came. Krishna protected them. especially that lifting of the Govardhan hill. Otherwise, they would have been decimated. They would have all been destroyed. But as we've been hearing, Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Everybody say, very kind to his devotees. So not only was Krishna kind to the devotees, he was also kind to the cows, because the cows are also his devotees. That's why Krishna is known as Govinda. Come on, everybody. Govinda. Yes. So Krishna lifted that Govardhan hill, acting as an umbrella, just to protect the residents of Vrindavan. And there's one purport Prabhupada spoke. I listen to it regularly. Prabhupada is explaining the song Jai Radha Madhava. And Prabhupada is saying that the residents of Vrindavan, they simply love Krishna. That's all. They simply love Krishna. And similarly, Krishna loves the residents of Vrindavan. It's not one way. It's reciprocal. This is another concept that I love so much, that Krishna reciprocates our love. And then Prabhupada makes an astounding statement. After explaining this, Prabhupada says, and the goal of this Krishna consciousness movement is to become one of the Gopi Jana, meaning one of the residents of who wants to be. That's all? Do you want to come back and become a resident of the United States again? All right, I'll say it again. Who wants to become a resident of Krishna's abode? Come on now. I don't know.